My name's Vance James Pollard, born 13th of the 6th, 1974. From Western Australia. I am Noongar, Southwest Aboriginal. I'm in the Northern Territory because I've tried Western Australia, I've tried South Australia, I've tried Queensland, I've tried the Prime Minister himself. 17 years ago, Western Australian Welfare stole my son with lies, which I proved in court, and then they got doctors to lie on mental health records saying I was a methamphetamine abuser. Over a decade they wrote that, but I'd done over 200 tests. I never ever tested positive for methamphetamine. I'm in the areas of autistic savant. I fled to South Australia after two police with guns told me to stop giving information to politicians about the corruption throughout Australia. I'm here at NCCAT, right, where there's a meeting going on today, so there's no one at reception to take paperwork. I'm suing the Prime Minister and Alistair McEwen for disability discrimination, human rights abuse and treason. Right, now this says Family Court of Australia and Federal Circuit Court are now sitting at local court at 1 Parsons Street. Now I live on Parsons Street and I went to Supreme Court and they've told me I've got to come here and do this. Now I've won in the Supreme Court of Australia in Melbourne on the 12th of June 2015, okay, against first superannuation lawyers, because I had government superannuation and I was made total and permanent disabled because in 2000 I was hit in the head with a cricket bat in a home invasion when I was trying to help people get off drugs. The neurosurgeon must have been off his face. He left a marble-sized ball of dead brain matter in my face, and this whole side of my face back 1 centimetre. I had 11 titanium plates, 27 screws. I was put in Charles Gardner Hospital, I believe. They released me within 6 days. Alright, let me go back a bit. Police arrived on the scene after 3 minutes, let one of the witnesses go. Let one of the offenders go because he said he was a witness. They tampered with all the case, everything like that. Someone did end up going to jail. I lost everything. I'd just been qualified in electronics to build alarm systems and security cameras, not just put them in, but build them. And that was a few years after the car accident where I was planned to fly out to Cerberus as a qualified engineer, and I was blackmailed after 3 years with motor vehicle licensing to take less than $70,000, where I would have earned $1 million. Anyway, he left dead barium matter in there, and 2013 truck pulled out in front of me. SGIO paid my car insurance immediately, right? Motor vehicle just refused to pay. 2003 I had a son, right? And then with his lovely mother, Stacey Okamoto, whose mother, Sandra Okamoto, 4 months later lost her job. So 5 months later she made up stories that she came in and found my son laying on the floor with used needles and cigarette butts around him. A complete lie, right? But her brother was head of internal affairs for the police. Half the family were drug dealers and drug manufacturers, the other half were cops, and the police are the biggest criminal organisation in Australia. I have all documentation and videos proving this, and anyway, I went to Greylands on the 4th of April, sat for 2 hours with 3 doctors. They said yes, my son was being abused in care. I mean, he was stolen because he had no lawyer at court. They also murdered my daughter. Elizabeth Aubrey got up in front of Magistrate Vose at Perth Children's Court during 2007 and said the mother's too far gone on drugs to have the 4-year-old, but 6 days later let her keep the brand new baby. Now I hadn't spoken to her for nearly a year, and she rang me up at 7:28 in the morning 13 years ago today. Walking down the street with my daughter dead in her arms. Alistair Hope and Christian Porter covered it up and put it as SIDS. It wasn't SIDS. My younger sister had SIDS in 1980. She was part of the Red Nose Foundation. And I was the first person to get the phone call with my daughter, but no one ever spoke to me. I wasn't allowed to know grave, I wasn't allowed to know a name, I wasn't allowed to know anything. I'm not allowed to see my son, even though I had working with children's card, they had nothing. I've been totally discriminated against for two reasons. One, I'm Aboriginal, and two, I have a disability. Now, because disabilities on the level that I have are hard to say, I'm autistic savant, or sociopath. Sociopath means bad, but I try to help people. I invented the heart attack app, and the head professor of psychiatry in South Australia, who teaches at SA University, told me I was delusional. That was just after Royal Adelaide Hospital had broken my back that badly that every book says I shouldn't have been able to walk. L5 50%, L1 40%. Anyway, 10 days in Glenside, they released me without seeing a doctor. I'd done an interview with a video with Detective Holmes, where I stated that I will give a statement, because I know the law very well, and no one needs to give a statement for me. According to the Mental Health Act, you're not allowed to be released to a place to do you harm. Anyway, it took me straight back to the headquarters in Adelaide, and Aboriginal Legal Rights Representative Robert Gillespie was there, and Detective Holmes told him that I had a severe mental problem and for him to talk for me, so I was refused to give a statement. I was then put on the stand in front of Magistrate Dixon, where I had no lawyer. I wasn't allowed to say a word. He remanded me in custody for creating a false belief that someone was hurt or injured, because after they broke my back and dragged me off my head with paraparadol, and I kept screaming at him, my back's broken, my back's broken, my back's broken, they gave me one of my phones and I called Lifeline begging for help. I said, help me, and they said I lied. Anyway, this is October 2016, I was jailed, okay? I was blackmailed into take paraparadol so I could get an x-ray. Anyway, got the x-ray on the, I think, 1st of December, 10 a.m. But the doctor, Bianca, was too busy organising her Christmas pay, or her payoff, for not telling me that my back was broken. They told me I had arthritis. I was refused anything, in jail for the first time ever, and I had a broken back. No painkillers, no nothing, no treatment. I was held in there for 6 months, and they had the evidence I was innocent. They kept me in jail. I went to the JCC, I went to the Attorney General, I went to the Premier, I went to the Prime Minister, I've gone everywhere. All media outlets, everything. No one. Police kept harassing me, they stole everything I owned. I proved that the Royal Commission into Banking and Finance, MetLife, lied. They got up and said that no total and permanent case in Australia has taken longer than 300 days in the last decade. Mine took 660. I beat Firth's, my so-called lawyers, Melbourne Supreme Court, on the 12th of June 2015. And MetLife and Motor Trade Association robbed me of over $1 billion. And I had the law, the legislation and everything proving it. 2 years going through SACAT, right, with an acute brain injury, level 10 pain all the time, refused any medical treatment. In Queensland, I was actually even locked in a mental institution for suspected drug use for 5 days, which is against the law. As everything is, they don't, So, and the Prime Minister and the Royal Commissioner, McNewen, they all know about this. The Prime Minister told me to go back to the people that put me in jail and set me up. I mean, my lawyer, Matthew Milburn, who had the evidence I was innocent but kept me in jail, is now a police prosecutor, right? Also, it carried on for 2 years. The case did. They had to release me after 6 months. I'd done more time in jail for the crime than, they tried to break me. They tried to kill me in there. They tried to murder me. I would have been 433 deaths, the Black Deaths, but I didn't break because I didn't do anything wrong. I knew it. I had it here in my gut and I knew my back was broken. Anyway, I got out. No doctor in Australia will help me at all. Because pharmaceutical companies pay politicians off. You know, I got refused all help. And I have only found help 4 months ago. Thank you, Dr. Martin Davies, gentleman and scholar. Without you, my daughter most probably wouldn't. Here we go. Hopefully there's someone there. So I will go and record putting those papers in. Hello. So I've just got the video on me. I'm just doing video of this. So it's just on me, not on yourself. I'm just lodging the paperwork. I run Northern Territory. I run Darwin. I've got the fee waiver, my statement of income. Yeah. So I don't need the electronic thing. There's 2 here that I have to lodge. Right. One is they're both federal. Yahoo, yeah. So I just got my drink. I'm very nervous today. It's the 13th anniversary of the murder of my daughter. So I'm stressed out, and I'm more stressed out because I've been doing this for 15 years since my son was stolen, and I can't get anywhere against every law and legislation there is. I had paperwork proving everything that is written there.
Yeah.
But
do you have the paperwork, or?
Well, it said just to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to write in that box. It says don't do any more than that, so I didn't bring it with me.
Oh, that's fine.
Right. So when there's a date for a hearing, I can bring it. I mean, the government already have it all.
You will receive further instructions.
Right.
We normally send them in the email, so just watch out in the email, but you can always come here and bring evidence.
Okay, how long before, because I've required for this to be urgent, because I'm being harassed and...
Yeah, this needs to be assessed with by our registrar if you apply as an urgent application.
Yeah.
So she will assess that, and we will let you know as soon as we can.
Well, in there I've proven that the registrar in Queensland at the Port Adelaide Courthouse is corrupt. Yep. I've got the emails proving it, and I've got the documentation proving it. They moved my a court case straight from the dock straight to fines enforcement without it going to court.
Yep, that's fine. You can provide all of those evidence in the hearings.
Yeah.
You will get instructions straight away after we assess your application.
Rightio.
So we will give you instructions when to provide evidence, because after we do the applications, you can provide the evidence straight away for everyone to like.
Well, they've already got all the evidence.
Yeah, you will just get the.
Well, the Prime Minister's got the evidence that human rights is being abused.
Yeah, because they're a different department. We will still need them on our files.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You will just get further instructions.
Yeah, I can bring it down. I mean, I had to pay yesterday. I've only got a few of them because they keep going in and deleting them.
Fine.
But all my information is with the Disability Royal Commission. This is why Alistair McNewen is on there, because he refuses to do what is required by him in the 1917 powers of Royal Commissioner.
Yes, you will just get further instructions on how to.
Okay, how long? Because
it will depend. Because
depend on what?
The registrar will assess it.
Yeah, I know, but when will the registrar assess it?
We will send the applications today.
Yeah.
And it will be up to her. It will be up to the registrar.
So
the registrar assesses this.
Usually, how long does it take for the registrar to expedite this stuff?
I can't really.
On an average, a week or two. Am I going to wait 3 months? Am I going to wait 3 years? Or
it will not take more than a week.
Yep.
For her to let you know if it's approved as urgent or no.
Right. Okay.
Not more than a week.
Yeah. But it's just the Prime Minister needs to go into the brig for treason.
We will let you know as soon as we can.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's just that, a prisoner of war has more human rights than me. I haven't even been allowed to vote for over 20 years.
Yeah, but I think that you take that up somewhere else.
And I've got police harassing me, and it's against the Constitution, against the law, and they don't care. And a police officer lays his hands on me again and I will finish him.
That is out of our jurisdiction though, because this is the civil.
Well, I mean, the Supreme Court sent me here to put this paperwork in, right? I've been refused all legal help from everybody in Australia, even when I paid up cash 20 grand.
Yeah. You can present all of that.
The ABC has also got a copy of all this as well.
We will just send you further instructions.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. Sorry to be a pain, but I've been through this 100 times and I'm just trying to get justice. I mean, my daughter was murdered and the people got pay rises and promotions. You know, they stood up in court before she was born, 6 days before she was born, said the mother was too far gone on drugs to have the 4-year-old, but let her have the baby. I don't blame her, it's welfare. Yeah. And my son had no lawyer in court. He's stolen. He's been stolen for 17 years and he's Aboriginal. Yeah. And I'm refused to see him and they won't.
Hopefully you hear that.
Yeah, hopefully soon, because, you know, they should spend the Christmas in jail. I did. I can't walk properly now because I proved this all before. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good day. You see, this is the problem. How long? Don't know. Yeah. We'll get back to you. That's it. You know, they're vague. They don't do anything. Now, this says Federal Court Circuit, right? I'm putting the Prime Minister on treason. He should be arrested and put in the brig, not a jail, right? Where he's allowed no contact with anybody, right? The flag needs to be turned upside down. Australia's gone to shit, okay? I can't buy a can of alcohol without producing photo identification. I'm guilty till proven innocent. That's against the Constitution, but they do it. The states are overriding the Constitution and no one's doing anything about it. South Australia, I was evicted on May 11th during COVID-19, put on the streets. There's half a dozen places out there to help homeless people. Nah, they don't. They fucking just scam and get funds. I mean, I've had to borrow $4,500 to come up here. Because 8 PM, my disability employment agency refused to even give me finances to buy clothes. You know? I'm looking around because I'm breaking the law right now because I'm about to go drive my car. Right? But that's because I'm not the criminal that incurred the crazies. Why do I have to pay? Why does anybody have to pay for criminals? I mean, banks steal off people. Nothing, mate. It's covered up. I've got the fucking evidence sitting back there. Right? I've exposed them all. That's why they broke my back twice, 3 times. You know? Once at Greylands Mental Hospital. You know, then at Royal Adelaide Hospital, and then at Queen Elizabeth Hospital. I'm illegally locked in mental institutions. Everything I own has been stolen. You know, numerous times. They've stolen suitcases of documentation. But I backed it all up on hard drives. You know, they tried to steal them too. But I've proven my case more than anything. I was locked in jail with a broken back that badly that every book in the world says I shouldn't have been able to walk. Illegally. I was under a mental health order when I called Lifeline begging for help. Right? I shouldn't have had a phone according to mental health law. And then I was released from Glenside to police custody. You are not allowed to be released from a mental health hospital to a place that's going to do you harm. What do you think 6 months in jail done to a person who is in level 15 pain, cannot walk, and according to all books is performing miracles every time he gets up? I mean, I pissed myself on the floor the first week. Luckily enough, there was a good person in there, you know, a biker, Denton, right? And I owe him a thank you. I've tried to find him, but the police fuck all my computers. They tamper it. They change everything. I mean, they mess with Google, everything like that. A little while ago, I'm going to start the engine because I need the air conditioner. right? Okay. They do everything. I mean, Google and Facebook were up because they wouldn't give the Australian government information. They were up against the Corruption and Crime Commission. Then it just disappeared, right? The government had been using Microsoft to spy on all Australians since Windows 8, right? That's why the government run on Windows 7, is because when you sign the terms and agreement in Windows 8, you're signing them permission to go through everything on your computer, every single little thing. And in 2015, I was getting $5 million grant for clean energy for building perpetual motion, which it's easy, done. Yeah, I understand Tesla like you understand breathing, right? One major fact is we do not make electricity, ever. We gather it, right? Okay, and I use frictionless bearings. Anybody with a brain will tell you that's where you lose your power. Anyway, yeah, I've also flew to England. I had a court date on the 21st of August, 2015, Perth Children's Court. I'd paid Kim Wilson and Co. $20,000 up front, but they hadn't seen the transcripts and they assumed I was delusional because I got a photographic memory and I told them everything. And then I gave them the transcripts and then they backed out. Still charged me $4,000, but backed out. My son's stolen, my children are murdered, they got pay rises and bonuses. I've had over $1 billion stolen that I proved at the Royal Commission that somehow government superannuations were exempt from. Luckily enough, their insurer, MetLife, wasn't. They lied on the Royal Commission. But still, I'm arrested, bashed, drugged, put in